Hi, today's movie is about zombies. The school has been overrun by zombies, and the remaining humans are desperately trying to survive the day. Kurumi is a student at a private school and participates in track and field. One day, during a routine training session, she accidentally falls, distracted by the sight of a boy she has a crush on, named Katsuragi, passing by. Afterward, Kurumi heads to the infirmary, where the school nurse, Megumi, treats her injuries. Megumi also happens to be one of the teachers at the school. Yuki, like Kurumi, is a frequent visitor to the infirmary. A little later, while trying to get on her bike, Kurumi falls again due to Katsuragi's sudden appearance. They end up walking home together, chatting about completely ordinary things, which makes Kurumi incredibly happy. The next day, she rushes to the nurse's office to excitedly tell Megumi about her little adventure. Yuki, overhearing the conversation, urges Kurumi to confess her feelings to him, while Megumi encourages her to be brave and unafraid. However, Kurumi soon has to leave because the president of the gardening club has asked her to come along. Before leaving, she invites Kurumi and Yuki to join the club as well. The scene shifts to their club, where they prepare a snack together. While sitting at the table, Yuki expresses her desire to grow onions. To accomplish this, they head up to the rooftop where they have a small vegetable garden. After gathering everything they need, they return to their classroom, where the students seem amazed by Yuki's gift. However, in reality, it is all just a hallucination inside her mind. The school is actually in ruins, shattered windows, debris everywhere, and zombies roaming the streets. As the other girls and Megumi devise a plan to protect their safe zone, they are fortunate to have multiple rooftop gardens, which temporarily solve their food problem. However, relying solely on vegetables for sustenance could lead to malnutrition. To address this, Kurumi and Yuri venture to the cafeteria in search of staple foods and meat to balance their diet. Approaching the first floor cautiously, they spot several zombies wandering through the hall. Yuri takes out pre-prepared ping pong balls and throws them in different directions to distract the zombies. However, despite their efforts, another zombie suddenly appears and lunges at Kurumi. Yuri, paralyzed by fear, does nothing. Only when a second zombie appears does she finally snap out of it and eliminate the threat, helping her friend. They proceed to the cafeteria, discovering it in a state of partial collapse. Despite this, they manage to find a pack of instant noodles. Suddenly, Kurumi hears a noise. Gripping her shovel tightly, she cautiously approaches the source. When she abruptly opens a door, she comes face to face with something inside. Moments later, she realizes it's a surviving student. To ensure safety, they conduct a thorough check for injuries and confirm that the student is unharmed before introducing themselves. The student is Mickey, a second year who had been hiding in the cafeteria since the virus outbreak. That evening, they have Italian pasta for dinner, a meal obtained at great risk. Despite the cheerful atmosphere, Mickey appears troubled. Food will eventually run out, and she doesn't want to sit idly by. She struggles to understand how the others can remain so carefree in such a dire situation. The next day, the girls explain that Yuki's upbeat attitude is her way of mentally shielding herself from the horrors around them. She lives in a fantasy where zombies don't exist. A few days later, Mickey sneaks into the faculty room, taking anything that might be useful. Kurumi catches her and warns her not to bother searching for keys. It won't help her. The entire building is surrounded by zombies, and there's no way out. Mickey is furious, unable to comprehend how they can just sit and wait for help that might never come. Later that night, their argument moves to a classroom, where Yuki eavesdrops on them from outside the door until Megumi gently leads her away. Inside the classroom, Yuri decides to explain why they originally formed the club. The story then flashes back to the very first day of the outbreak. Standing on the rooftop, the girls notice people out suddenly running in all directions below. Some begin biting each other. Chaos erupts throughout the school. Kurumi is stunned when a girl suddenly falls from above. Within seconds, she transforms into a zombie. Kurumi is paralyzed with fear. A caring upperclassman rushes over, grabs Kurumi, and leads her away. On the way, Kurumi encounters a bitten classmate and notices her eyes turning pale. Kurumi remains frozen in shock. In a critical moment, Katsuragi shields Kurumi by exposing his arm to an attacking zombie. When they finally reach the rooftop, Yuki notices the bite mark on Katsuragi's arm and realizes he will soon turn. Everyone panics and rushes downstairs, unaware that it's even more dangerous there. A teacher attempts to stop them, but it's already too late. As zombies approach, the teacher has no choice but to close the door and barricade it with a heavy object. Katsuragi asks them to stay as far away from him as possible and then confesses that he has feelings for Kurumi. However, right after saying this, he turns into a zombie, and she is forced to end his existence. The school, and even the entire island, falls into chaos. Only one teacher and 3 students survive. They write an SOS message on the rooftop, hoping that a rescue team will find them. As the evening approaches, they decide to form the School Life Club. A new day begins, and Mickey makes up her mind to leave the school on her own. To do so, she plays loud sounds over the speakers, drawing most of the zombies to one area. However, just as she is about to step beyond the school grounds, Yuki catches up to her and begs her not to leave. Mickey refuses and starts searching for a suitable car. Meanwhile, the other girls rush to the room where the music is playing and shut off all the devices. Zombies spot Yuki and Kurumi, who manage to hide on top of a car, but the girls quickly find them and help them return safely to the school. The next day, Kurumi and Mickey must go to the storage room. On their way there, they encounter a few zombies but manage to defeat them easily. Once inside, they hit the jackpot, boxes filled with food. As they carry the supplies back, a zombie appears. Kurumi lifts her shovel to attack, but then she realizes that the zombie strongly resembles Katsuragi. Memories of him flash through her mind. Being in love with him, Kurumi hesitates. The zombified upperclassman wastes no time and tackles Kurumi to the ground, attempting to bite her. But at the last moment, Yuri intervenes. With a large supply of goods, their lives gradually return to some form of normalcy. They plant vegetables on the rooftop, have pillow fights, and spend evenings gazing at the stars. Autumn arrives, and they decide to hold an autumn festival, just like in the days before the zombie outbreak. However, during the festivities, the fire alarm suddenly goes off. They try to figure out what triggered it and soon realize that zombies have broken into the school. One of them accidentally starts a fire. In their attempt to escape, the zombies separate them into different groups. Kurumi tries to hold off a few zombies and urges the others to run as fast as they can. Kurumi makes it to the rooftop and climbs onto a ventilation ledge. There, she sees the ghost of Katsuragi, who tells her that he admired her determination to never give up. Kurumi realizes that she has a chance to leap past the zombies and escape. With one quick burst of energy, she reaches her shovel and uses it to push forward. When she finally reaches the classroom where her friends were hiding, she sees no one and assumes the worst. But suddenly voices call out from around the corner, and together they manage to fight off the remaining zombies. Kurumi, Mickey, and Yuri are relieved that they are all safe, but they don't know where Yuki is. At the same time, none of them mention Megumi. Later, they find Yuki, and it is revealed that Megumi had actually turned into a zombie on the very first day. All this time, she had only existed as a figment of Yuki's imagination. Kurumi decides to set Megumi free, and at that moment, Yuki finally snaps out of her fantasy and realizes the true nightmare they are living in. Losing Megumi deeply upsets Yuki, and the others try to comfort her. After some time, they realize that zombies have completely infiltrated the school. The food has spoiled, and the electricity and water supply are failing. This leads them to the conclusion that they can no longer stay at the school. They must find a new place to survive. Before leaving, they decide to hold a small graduation ceremony, during which they reflect on everything they've been through together and how much they have grown as a team. After gathering everything they can carry, they load it into the trunk of a car. As they drive through the city, it becomes clear the zombies are everywhere. And with that, the movie comes to an end. Thank you for watching until the very end, and see you next time.